got that one on there.
Crispy. Hold on, what's that?
This is cream soda.
Dude, this guy's got...
got
What beverage doesn't he have in there?
That's all I have, really.
Okay.
So the guests get the yerba, and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get no, it's
No,
fine.
it's okay.
No, it's too late.
It's sweetened with
Is it-
stevia and it's 0 calories.
0 calorie cream soda.
It's because I'm high all the time at home, so I'm like, I want something nice this
Nice. Yeah.
and it keeps me full. and
Cream
good.
soda. I used to drink cream soda as a kid. My grandparents always had the
Oh,
A&W.
Yeah.
After like halfway through, I'm like, it's too sweet.
Yeah.
What's that brand? The IBC root beer in the bottles? You guys ever had those? The IBC root beer in the bottles?
Yeah, there was
they
like
did a cream soda.
Yeah, there was a period of my life where I was like on a root beer kick, and so like I knew about all like the craft root beers. So yeah.
Yeah, root beer turned into like a beer thing. Almost.
Yeah. All these custom ones like
Yeah.
Virgil's.
Dude, it's crazy.
Cheers, fellas. Let's see if we get this.
This is the kind of morning cheers that we should probably be having. Nice. Caffeinated.
Cheers.
Caffeination.
Still on his laptop.
Oops. All right, so you ready to blow this taco stand?
Introed up.
Welcome.
Welcome.
No, I'm not gonna say
We'll just do. I did the last one. It's your turn. This is episode 31, right?
31?
Is it 31?
Yeah. Brandon was 30.
Nice.
Nice.
All right,
That's a lot.
Yeah, dude. I think, yeah.
Yeah,
30 is like a nice number.
30 sounds familiar.
It's like, oh, you have a podcast. How many episodes? 30. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, you
30.
actually have a
shit,
podcast.
you actually do it.
Yeah.
kind of a deal.
Kind
you
of.
know? Yeah.
Mild.
Underground, locally known.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's jump right into today's episode 31 of the Patent Pending Podcast, a podcast for creatives.
By creatives.
And today we have on colexcurtis.
Woo woo. What's up, boys?
You know what I was thinking about on the way here? I was like, what would it be funny if it was just Mike and I, and we have the third chair, and then he like walks in. But I was like, that might be kind of corny.
He'd be out of frame. He's too tall.
That's
Well, I'm
true.
saying it's like, what is this open chair about, Mike? And we're like, I don't know who's on today. And then like Cole just walks in, but
Yeah, I mean, but the title has his name in it, so.
People would have known. We could have done that if I was wearing something special.
Yeah, what happened with that? I thought you were
Like,
going to
I
wear
thought
something
about-
else.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and then I was like, I'll take it easy today.
that
it
intro
easy.
probably would have worked if you were dressed as Lloyd Christmas.
Yeah, Lloyd Christmas was it. Your inspiration.
Now it's,
I almost did it. I wasn't at Party City like I said yesterday.
I figured you weren't.
I could have been. I could have easily
I
been.
totally thought you were.
I had a feeling you would have.
I didn't buy it for a second.
Yeah, if you dress up, we all have to dress up.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to put the pressure on you guys like
That would have been
Next time.
Imagine me just sitting here.
in full Lloyd
Fully
Christmas, like
Christmas,
cowboy.
just talking to you guys.
So, Cole, you're another local photographer like us. I think you just recently transitioned into freelancing full-time. How's that been going?
Yeah, that's newly. I think I always forget how like kind of early I am to the game because I feel like I've been shooting photos since high school, which is like my 10-year anniversary is next year, which is crazy. So I've been shooting for a long time. Freelance kind of right out of 2021, started 2021 it
Nice.
started. So yeah, only like 3 years into it professionally.
Nice.
Wasn't the plan, but so far it's been great. I feel like it's kind of not you never know which path you're going to go.
Right.
But it definitely wasn't like,
What do you mean by it wasn't planned? Is like
I just went, backstory, like I went to college. I have a marketing degree, graduated in the start of the pandemic in 2020 and was like, I'll get a marketing job. This is going to be so easy. And everyone I reached out to was just like, we are firing people. Like
Right.
you were not on. We were laying everyone off. And I was like,
Wrong time.
oh my gosh, okay, what am I going to do? Because I feel like that's like a stress that most people have, especially kids that go to college. Like if you don't have something lined up coming out of college, I don't know what you're going to do. So I definitely had that stress on me. And then was lucky enough, I had a mutual friend that knew I took photos, not like seriously, but it was, I started out a lot of automotive stuff.
Right.
And he was like,
That's just how we do the podcast. Trash this.
you're all good. He was like, I know you shoot. I work for this company out in LA. We would love to have you out shoot, for us. And he was like, do you have an LLC? And I was like, what the fuck is an LLC? I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, make one and we'll be able to pay you. And I went out there for like a week, stayed with my parents' friends, and I thought like I hit the mega bucks.
Right.
Like
you thought this was it?
No, dude. I was like, oh my god, I'm so rich right now. This is
nice.
like made my first $500.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, whoa.
What stuff were you shooting out there?
It was for Galpin Automotive.
Oh, okay.
It was a massive LA company. And they did a bunch of stuff. I was mostly they brought me out for stills, and then they were like, "You can be a first AC." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And they were like,
what the fuck is
"You're going to hold these $40,000 cine lenses and put them on our FX9s and safely, and then you're going to walk 3 miles with the camera and like done." I was like, "Oh my gosh." And then you're going to take pictures also. And I was like,
okay,
cool. Like, this is great. Better than college.
Right. This doesn't sound like I have an option here. This just sounds like,
so,
this is what we're doing.
Just kind of literally thrown into it. But yeah, worked out. And then I think I was able to like kind of, just from the people I have met through living here and knowing that I take photos, kind of helped me transition into like a business, my own business, which has been more than I can ask.
Did you ever think about maybe staying in LA when you had that job?
There was a point in that that whole era of Galpin where they were like, we need a full-time person for socials, and I was like, okay. And they're like, but it's mostly video. And so I wasn't at the point where I kind of am now, where I can shoot video, and like I'm not super uncomfortable shooting video, but they were talking about like photo, video, editing, deliverables, all this stuff, and kind of a more full-time position. But yeah, thankfully it didn't end up working. It would have went well either way. But yeah, didn't work out. So I stayed here, and I'm comfortable in Vegas. I don't think it's like I really want to move anywhere or anything. I kind of thought about that. It's like I have roots here. My whole family's here. Like,
yeah, dude.
Girlfriend's here. I was like, it would be, I don't know.
Yeah, what would I be lost?
Yeah. So it would have to be something more photo based to move out full time.
Yeah.
And just the right client.
Is that something in that situation of kind of trusting your gut of like, I can do this, like I can, do what you're asking, but it's not something that I'm, like you said, like I'm more photo at that point. You're like, I'm way more photo. So that would be more my wheelhouse. But is that something that your gut was like, I could do it, but I'm not as comfortable as I would like to be doing this thing?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm not one to like veer away from like challenges in the creative space. Definitely. Like the more I can learn and be able to do is like the best, right? So you want to be able to do everything. But yeah, definitely didn't. It was just a whole interesting time. Like I feel like for most of the world,
right?
Like
pandemic.
I was like, dude, like coming out of that, like how do we,
Yeah.
And LA was still is like kind of like hypersensitive to this stuff. So it was definitely more of a let's just stay put. I'm sure another opportunity will come. And then even after that, like I was brought out to do some stuff with them again, just because I was on their list of vendors. So they were like, yeah, perfect. And they'd know I'd do it. So, but yeah, never really. And I told them that I was like, video isn't necessarily my thing. And just feels like made the right decision in hindsight. Yeah.
Feel the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Video's not my thing.
Yeah.
Could be if I needed it to be, but
Exactly. That's kind
my
of
heart's not in it.
That's kind of how I think. Mostly like love shooting it. Like shooting video.
I'm the other way around. I actually prefer editing it.
Oh, okay.
It's fun. It's like a puzzle.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm bringing all my.
But I'm not that good at it though. I like the process of it. It reminds me of when I first got into photography.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in my teens, and I was like, oh, this is like a fun thing, learning. You know, but I just don't have the time to like sit all day and like figure out how to do something that could take somebody 30 minutes.
Especially now.
Yeah, so it's like, and I have enough work with photography to where during the pandemic though, I was shooting fucking video.
Yeah,
right.
Because I need the fucking money.
Yeah. They're like,
I'll shoot
video.
anything.
Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah, I'm the shit.
Yeah.
I'm the best.
Yeah, so I was doing that during the pandemic, and then I really enjoyed it. And then work picked back up, and I was like, all right, I can't spend all day editing.
Yeah, can't take it.
Yeah, that's just that's the one thing, because I like shooting it and I like editing it, but I realize with editing, because it like, I think all of us can agree, like photos, just bang them out. Like you already know, either you have your settings or you just know when you're shooting the photo how like the final result is gonna look. So it's just night and day, or not night and day. It's just like, you know what I mean? Photos is just easy.
Yeah.
Video, it's like you got to chew on it, you got to edit it. And my wife always gives me shit. She's like, "Fuck, how long are you gonna work on this fucking video?" And even if it's like a 30-second like Instagram reel type of thing for myself, she's like, "You've been on this thing for like hours." And I'm like, "Yeah, because like you don't understand. Like you gotta fucking really watch it 4 million times." So.
But also too with the photos, it's so quick because we're so proficient in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel
sure
like
if we were just as proficient in video, it wouldn't be as time consuming.
I mean, I remember when I was learning too, it was like just even editing photos. Like the first time Photoshop was, I took a class in college just to learn as much as I could, like I said. And it took me a long time to edit like 100 photos.
Yeah.
Like I was like not batch editing. I was like moving doing all that. But yeah, I feel like you're right. Like if we were as proficient in video editing, it would just be a breeze by, like it is for
a lot of people.
A lot of the people,
make a
most
good
of the
living
people
off
that
of
we
it.
that work with, they're like doing same night edits and they pump out the most insane videos.
Yeah, and you're like, "What the fuck, dude?" I'm like, "Dude, how
did you do that?
Yeah, you left the club at like 2 a.m. and it's now post at 9 a.m. And you're like, "Dude, you didn't sleep,
do that? You okay?"
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not okay.
And then
No, but the answer is they're not okay. But
Have you ever looked into Brandon's eyes? They're dead inside.
It's just screen.
It's just
The
red
screen
it's just
looking
Red
back
Bull
at you.
and fucking,
Yeah, it is. It's like we thought we were caffeinated.
yeah, you looked into his soul, dude. It's just Red Bull and
Red
regret.
Bull.
It's also funny because he's gonna edit this and be like, "What the fuck, dude?"
It's just Red Bull and what did he call that shit?
Oh,
Red Bull and
hood rat decisions.
Hood
Rat decisions.
and Coronas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But wait, so let me back up here. But so did you grow up in Vegas?
I did. Born and raised.
Okay.
The unicorn.
Yeah. So that makes sense of like the whole LA kind of, there was more factors to keep you here based in Vegas than, venturing out to,
Don't get me wrong. I was able to leave for college. I ended up coming back in my last couple of years and finished UNLV. But like moving out has always been something I feel like even my parents were like, "Hey, like we didn't go to college here. Like you should probably step out and see something new." And so that was kind of always like my plan. And if I were to move somewhere else, like I said, it would probably be like California, Southern California.
Yeah.
I kind of grew up vacationing there. It's like a place that I love.
And where did you go to college? Did you go to college in California?
No, I went. So that was a crazy time. Also, I'm like dead set on going to like a Cal State school. Dead set.
Oh,
Love
gotcha.
the beach, whatever. I was lucky enough to have like some kind of academic scholarship.
right.
Yeah, I know.
Some.
Some kind of
Okay.
some little
Hard
something.
to believe.
Yeah, I know, really. And dead set, and then in the like list of schools that the scholarship applied to, like Boise State was on there, and my dad was like, "You ever been to Boise?" I was like, "No, what?
No,
I'm 18.
I wanna
man.
go to the
Like,
beach,
have we ever been
Yeah.
to Boise together?" I wasn't like, I don't
Have
know.
you ever been? You would know,
Yeah,
Dad.
like,
Like,
you would take me there. So we visited, and looking back on it, I feel like like it was cool just to see like a college town.
Right.
And like, oh, I could do this without my parents and blah, 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 blah. And so I was like dead set going to Boise State.
Right.
Which is, dude,
The complete opposite
180.
of California.
180. Like, no mountain. I don't know.
What's a mountain?
I didn't enjoy Boise so much just because it was like fraternity based. I felt, and I didn't do. I wasn't looking to be in a fraternity.
You weren't
I felt like I
going
was
towards
getting
that?
poached to be in a fraternity, and it was the only way
This
that
guy looks like he can
Yeah, this tall guy, he's a good
they're
candidate.
like, hey,
Yeah, you.
you're with us, pie cap.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's okay. So yeah, I ended up transferring, and I had one of my best friends was like, I'm going to University of Utah. And they're like, you should come.
The
And
Utes.
I was like, yeah, the Utes. And so I was like, all right. And I was on like one of the list of schools that I could get the scholarship to. So I just transferred and lived with my best friend. And he was a skier, I was a snowboarder. And that's basically all we did. Like I had a bunch of friends that lived there. So that was
You
fun.
snowboard?
I snowboard.
Nice. I have a job for you. Remind me after.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know that.
What, teaching you?
Yeah,
No,
what's
no.
the what's
We'll
the?
we'll talk about
I
it.
need to know the
Okay,
job details
okay,
first.
Yeah, hold on.
So how much you'll like it? How much better was Utah versus Boise? Was there just more? Was it because your best friend was there?
I think it was friends. I didn't move to Boise with nobody I knew
Right,
was
who's-
going to Boise. It was the most random decision, I shit you not, that I've ever made. And I don't live with regrets, but that's one where you're like,
You only
I
did
could have
a-
thought
you
about
only
this
did
a little
year,
more.
though, right?
I could have what?
You only did a year in Boise.
Yeah, I did a year in Boise and then a year
only 1 year.
in Utah. Wasn't bad. I mean, I probably learned a lot of things.
sure I
that
learned some stuff, yeah.
something.
Yeah, you learned you don't
for
wanna live in Boise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there
learned
you go.
that I don't want to live in Boise. So
But you
that's
went
what
out and
I did.
tried it, so fuck it.
I did, yeah. And like I was out there and kind of like picked up, I think I took a break from like photography for like senior year. I would just shoot like my friends doing
Right.
stupid shit. We were doing crazy like, I don't know, motorcycles and cars and like blowing shit up. And I was like, nobody's gonna like
Yeah.
understand this unless it's documented. So that's kind of like how I picked up the camera, but I took a
Fucking
break.
awesome.
And then in Boise, we had like this Nikon family camera that I shot everything on. And it was just sitting there. And I was like, I just need to, get back into that. So I do have a bunch of photos from Boise that like, it's just me walking around doing the whole.
You got to send us. You got to find those like the
Yeah.
explosion and the.
Oh, dude.
Because
Yeah,
I
we'll
still don't
put
even
it- we'll
understand.
put it in there.
Go.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we'll drop it in the edit, but I still don't understand.
Just like mortars
Just
on the
redneck,
ground.
right?
Yeah, just redneck.
Just redneck
yeah,
teenage
yeah.
bullshit. Yeah.
reckless
Yeah,
shit.
for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then I did to get back to your question, Mike. Utah was just better fit for me. Like
Yeah.
I think Salt Lake has kind of a weird, picture. People that haven't
Yeah.
been there are like, oh, like it's weird.
I've been there once. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it's
It's
super beautiful.
insanely beautiful.
Yeah.
and like
It's like downtown, right underneath these mountains.
Yeah.
And then the lake and
the
it's pretty
campus
cool.
is kind of like all right there, so it's super available. I had a car, and yeah, we just.
And then you're still only
basically-
like 6 hours away from town.
It
so you
wasn't
can go to your
bad. Yeah, I
parents.
got to like driving home wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
And then my dad got sick, so I moved back here and finished out. But yeah, that's like the college
Nice.
story. So 3 universities. I call them all my alma mater, regardless of
right.
Where you graduated
Like if
from.
one makes like Boise State's football team got pretty good after.
You're like,
I
oh,
left.
that's-
And I
I
was
like
like, oh,
Boise again.
hell yeah, woo!
I
Go
went there
Broncos. Oh,
right
yeah.
away.
Yeah, so that's the college story from me, which is interesting, probably an interesting one.
So then you came back during the pandemic, and then you started freelancing a little bit in LA.
Mhm.
And then after the pandemic, you just went full freelance photography.
Yeah, full freelance photography. Every job kind of path that I was looking for had like dried up. And I was
All
like,
right.
I was
In
like,
the marketing department.
yeah, in the marketing departments.
That's interesting. I didn't know that about you.
And then my mom ran an advertising agency here. So
remember you
I
telling
was
me that.
like,
Oh, shit.
dude, this is gonna be
It's cakewalk.
Yeah, I was like straight nepo child. Like
Yeah,
this would
yeah.
be the easiest thing ever.
Right.
And all of that like didn't work out. So
That's
I was
crazy.
Like, holy shit! What am I? What am
Mom,
I
I
gonna
thought I
do?
was going to get all this work.
I know.
Yeah,
I was
what
like,
the
Mom, come on. What? Like, hook me up with a job. She's like, by that time 3 years retired.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't know anyone. What are you talking about?
I've been out the game a while, son.
Yeah. And then, just been rocking the photo thing.
What type of stuff are you shooting now? What's like your favorite thing to do? What's keeping you the most busy?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it now is some commercial portraiture, ton of event stuff recently, which I just kind of fell into.
There's always events in Las Vegas.
There's always events in Las Vegas.
Events are fun. Like I recently, like this year, 2024, I've picked up quite of a event gigs, and before it never really it was like whatever here and there, and like, but for some reason now it just clicked. I was like, these are fucking fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
Like, because the ones I had before were just like they weren't fun, but the ones this year I'm like, oh fuck, like there's a cool like alternate universe in which like there's cool events that you get to fucking document
for sure.
So
yeah, weren't you just where were you? You were in New York. Like
I was in New York for literally for fucking 24 hours. So that's why I'm a little groggy. I'm gonna need enough caffeine to kill a horse.
Was that?
Yeah, what was up with that?
Yeah.
So that one.
Do tell.
So yeah, the crew at Made Good, which I've talked about and I've worked for, they are a photo and video production agency, and they had a gig in New York for Mr. Clean, and so that was cool. That was Mr. Clean was unveiling. Is that the word? Unveiling? Revealing? Revealing.
You haven't told us what they're doing yet, so we can't tell you.
Yeah. So Mr. Clean as a brand was unveiling 2 new products. So this was just event video of like they invited influencers. They had like scientists doing demos. So it was a cool little space in New York. So that's what I flew out for 24 hours. Cool.
Did he show up?
Yeah, they had a guy dressed as Mr. Clean, which was funny because like he
awesome.
like bleached eyebrows and everything, and the earring.
Damn.
Yeah, and I guess he's like a detective during the day because we were asking
Like,
that.
this is perfect.
You're blowing his cover.
Yeah,
well,
wow, watch out.
Because we were asking that, we're like, is this like the guy you always use? And they're like, no, his name's like John, and he's like a detective or whatever. We're like, oh, all right, well, fuck, he looks the part. But
His
yeah,
job's gonna be interesting.
so to circle back to like events have been fun because it wasn't like it was done really well. Like they had for like the amount of time they had there and like the space, like it wasn't like a boring. Oh, there's just like events or like influencers drinking cocktail. Like it was pretty cool.
So what did they unveil?
They unveiled 2 new magic erasers.
Ooh, that's huge.
Yeah, so one was like extra thick, like literally it was like triple the size,
Nice.
and then the other one was like
Get real clean. With
95% more. Here's my sales pitch. 95% more cleaning power or whatever.
Okay, nice.
But it was cool.
Not 100.
Not 100. Yeah.
Well, 100's a little too cocky.
100% clean?
100% clean.
No way.
That's too cocky.
That's cool. I actually use the magic erasers.
Yeah, we have the knockoffs. We have like the Amazon ones that
cool.
like just shred, disintegrate.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, Mr. Clean magic erasers would also disintegrate in your fingertips.
Yeah.
Maybe they're better now.
I think they are better.
Oh, with the extra thick Mr. Clean coming out.
95% better.
on the demos, they weren't really shredding.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
Well, I haven't used one in like 10 years, but
yeah, like I said, we got the knockoff. So Mr. Clean,
We'll see.
if P&G want to send us a care package.
Straight
Fuck, we'll do it on the pod, dude. We'll
up.
clean these chairs or
We'll clean these
something.
chairs.
you
yeah,
know?
these chairs. I got white chairs like a fucking idiot. You look at them wrong and they get dirty.
Yeah.
I got some shoes I can bring in. We can put those to the test.
Oh yeah, they did clean sneakers there,
Perfect.
which was cool. But yeah. So I have a little note here. Your photography tends to lean more into a portraiture lifestyle, but I do love that you are versatile in your workflow, like similar to Mike and I. Do you ever have trouble navigating those like different genres and projects?
Yes, definitely. I feel like when I started in like the space, like I was following, all these huge people, Aaron Brimhall, Chris Burkhardt, like all these dudes, and they were like, Aaron's known for like shooting automotive moto. Chris is like landscape god, and I was like, I need to like fall into. I feel like everyone said that, like just find a niche and be like really good at one thing,
Right.
And I was like, there's so much to take pictures of. Like, what are you talking about? And so luckily, I mean, not luckily, I feel like you can kill it in basically anything you find yourself in. If you're good, you're good.
Right.
But yeah, I think that kind of thing was like more of developing a style through shooting a bunch of different stuff. And now that I have kind of the style of how I shoot. Kind of transferring from different subjects and genres of shooting isn't so difficult.
Right.
I feel like I find myself, and sometimes it's like client-based stuff. If they're like, hey, we want it to look like this or look like this, or a lot of the time it's like, well, we like what you do whatever you want, you know? That sort of thing is where I thrive, where I think it's kind of goes both ways. Like, if it's easy to produce what a client wants, then it's easy for me. And then if it's also like, hey, just do whatever you think is best, or like we
trust you.
Then it's great too. So switching from genres of shooting and subjects of shooting isn't too difficult, but definitely when I started like doing it, I was like, okay, this is against this is against the niche. You know, I need to be in one thing that but yeah, I think now that I kind of have a distinct style in the way I shoot, it's not too.
It blends
difficult.
really well. That's, I guess, ultimately what I was getting at. It's like it does, and you could see Cole's style in those blending of multiple genres, I guess you'd call them, or facets, as Mike would say.
Yeah, and then also too, shooting everything, you're always busy. I feel like when you shoot everything, like there's always work to be had, and then it keeps it fun, keeps it fresh. So once you get out of that, like that anxiety of like, oh shit, I haven't done this. Do I know how to do it? Can I do it? And then you're just like, oh, it's all gravy.
It's all
It's all gravy, baby.
It's all just button pushing anyway.
Right? Yeah, just glorified button pushing.
I used to rock climb, and when I rock climbed,
Fuck, what didn't you do, dude? Lacrosse, rock climb, mountain bike. He's just an animal.
Yeah.
He does it all.
Yeah. But I was a huge fan of Jimmy Chin, and I was like, I'm gonna be a fucking rock climbing photographer. That's all I'm gonna do. So I felt the same way.
I mean, I literally have I have an idea for a rock climbing shoot that I've been wanting to do with this brand that Blaze did the merch for and all this stuff. Yeah. And I was like, get these guys out to Vegas. They're in New York.
Yeah, we have rocks here. We can
I was
climb.
like, they're from New York. I was like, get these guys out. We're gonna do some sick stuff with their like merch on the full Jimmy Chin style. I want to be on the wall
with them.
I want to be on the wall. I don't know if there's people this size that
probably not. No.
Yeah.
Not a.
I'm afraid of heights for a reason. I'm like,
you like 6'4"?
You're like setting up the shoot.
Yeah, like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah,
It's
6'4",
just like
dude.
Gravity likes me already too much.
Yeah. Close to the ground.
Yeah, it's insane. So we'll see if that happens. But yeah, I think also along that line, it's like not so much like I need to shoot this. I haven't done this, but like, what do I know that I can do that would fit my style right? That also like spec work, you know, like I want to just do stuff that I want to do. It doesn't always have to be work based, which I've really last year I've like struggled with doing stuff like for me.
Right.
Know?
Yeah. Welcome to being a professional. I haven't done shit for myself.
Exactly.
Last time I shot something for fun was when we went and did street photography. All of us.
That was
oh yeah.
When was
shit.
that?
That was what? That was
A year ago?
Yeah, that was a long time.
Oh
ago.
yeah. What are we in February? That was at least. Yeah. What was that? Like
that
July?
That was a while
August?
ago. Yeah, it was summer. I remember it being very hot, so it was probably summer.
It was a good and just 3 months, so we're somewhere between June and August.
That was fun. We got to do that again.
Yeah.
Got to get Mike out.
Why do you feel like you've struggled over the last few years to do those like personal projects? Is it just time, or is it?
Yeah, like stuff as you guys know, it's like if you shoot 4 days in a row, multiple shoots or something, which is like sometimes it happens. It's not like
you're talking about multiple shoots in a day.
Yeah, multiple shoots in a day, or like over multiple days.
Right.
It's stacks up.
Right.
And so you're like,
the last thing I want to do
is like go and take time out of, like work related things and try and, which I feel like I was going to bring this up to you, Sean.
Bring it up, dude.
Is I kind of am getting into like shooting film more. It's fun. I think, like you and obviously Sarah and like all those people just like kill it, and it's fun, and it's not like, it doesn't feel work related. So yeah, I just got a Fujifilm GA 645.
I saw that at the
point and
yearbook.
shoot. Yeah, And that thing has kind of been like an expensive,
Right.
an expensive, fun, not for work thing that I've brought around. But yeah, just timing wise, it's like just hard to get.
So that's what I was gonna say, because for a long time, it was just we got so busy with work, and I just was like, picking up a camera for myself. One, I didn't really have an idea of like I didn't have the mental energy to come up with an idea of wanting to shoot, but then also nothing really clicked. But film, working that into my workflow now, but film is something I could kind of fall back on to shoot for fun.
For sure.
And it's like kind of like my caveat. So like to tie it in, I think it was last week, I rented that studio space, the Collective, and I originally had 3 people lined up. 2 of them flaked, and then one of them came through. So shout out to Britt for that. But what I'm getting at is I didn't have a really solid idea in my head. I was like, I have a space and I have somebody down to shoot who's like comfortable in front of the camera. That's kind of really all I have. So my thing to myself was like, shoot it all on film. That way, that's the thing that's like, what's the word? Like, that's what's like exciting you about the shoot.
Inspired you
for sure.
Exactly. So I did that, and I've gotten some of the photos back trickling in, over the last couple days, and I'm really stoked to share them. But that's been my caveat, to be like, I could still find that spark of like for fun again. It's just, for me, it's been film. It's like, that's where I like scratch that itch.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It kind of feels that way. Mike just lifts heavy weights when he wants
No, I shoot some film stuff. Yeah. I just like.
You also picked up a Fuji.
I just get busy.
You also picked up a Fuji.
Oh yeah, your Fuji's cool.
Yeah.
The one that we were.
Yeah, I just have to go and shoot with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the X Pro 3. The thing's sick.
That thing is awesome.
That's like a great travel camera.
For sure.
But then the last vacation I went on, I was so fucking burnt out. It stayed in my bag the entire trip.
Which is good though, because I think that we, as again freelancers and just workhorses, that we need those things to just shut it all off and enjoy that time with your.
I know, but I do want to like document these trips that I go on, like with my girlfriend and my dog, and like I just, it's like either I'm shooting nonstop or like not at all. It's like, there's no fucking middle ground.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Find that balance.
It's all photography all day. Like I'm on the computer watching videos, I'm editing, I'm out shooting, and then it's like sometimes every 3 months I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're like on those trips and like you don't want to be shooting, it's like the pictures are like, you're just like,
yeah, then I'm like hard drive somewhere.
And then I have a camera with me, and I'm annoyed that I have it.
Exactly.
Like,
I
can't win.
You can't win. You can't win. Yeah.
There's no winning in this life.
Well, I mean, the saying is the best camera you have is
exactly
one that's
like,
on you. So my phone's always like
perfect.
But then it's like I'm not looking back at the photos.
No.
Even my film photos, I'm like, these are sick. I got a couple printed, but 90% of them are just sitting on
a hard drive.
Drive
For sure.
So it's like I don't know.
Yeah, trust me, I've dealt with that too. Yeah, you're like, document some things, the personal moments with my wife, with my dog, vacation, and then you're like, oh, I'm starting to, I got the camera out now, I'm work mic again, like fuck. So
for sure.
I don't know how you find them. I don't know.
Speaking of photos, we just got an incredible photo of you and I.
We did, because Cole.
Exactly.
That could be a personal thing, right? I mean,
that was one of the bigger personal things.
Projects.
That was not like a monetized driven thing at all. It
right.
was not looking to make any money. It was more so.
But it was personal, but you could also very good networking situation that could potentially be monetary in the future.
For sure.
But
yeah. So tell us about that. How did the downtown yearbook, how did it come about? And then tell us, that was
well, what was it first of all, and then how it came about?
Yeah, so we did a 2-day event at our studio, 4th Street, Las Vegas, shout out. Basically a nostalgic yearbook day, picture day for adults. There was kind of the idea originated from a friend of mine, Alex. He was like, you guys, we were kind of new into the studio, and he was like, it was at that time where people were getting their passport photos taken, but they were like doing everything, like doing the most for the passport photos. So they were going into like Walgreens, fully makeup, like all this crazy stuff. And he was like, you should do a passport day and you have people come in and we just do like white backdrop,
Yeah.
whatever you want, kind of fun thing. And then like most ideas, I was like, that's a great idea. Never do it.
Cool.
That's a great idea. Awesome. It's like over a couple beers, and then I wake up and forget that it ever happened. And then that kind of translated into, and then Alex had mentioned, he was like, it'd be cool to make like a book out of it. And I was like, oh, that's a sweet idea. And then Blaze and I, my studio mate, best friend Blaze Brooks, and I were talking about just kind of taking that idea and how it would be cool to do like a yearbook day.
Right.
And then transition that into like just the stuff I've seen throughout those funny, like kind of kitschy, nostalgic, like backdrop, airbrush backdrops.
Like the 90s.
Yeah, for sure. Just like all the stuff
photos
that you see from like, I think like my mom showed me one like kind of recently, and I was like, oh my God, it's incredible. We got to do something like that. And we're just so happens that we know our boy Daniel is this crazy airbrush.
Yeah, those clouds were legit.
It's like looking outside, looking at that thing. And
so you airbrush backdrop for the
airbrush backdrop for the photos, and kind of connected. It was never was meant to be, and it's still not like the official downtown yearbook of Las Vegas. Like if you're not in it, fuck you.
Right.
I was like, I feel like some people like, oh my God, like I got it be in it. I was like, dude, it's fine. Like it was just like a community. It's great. I'm glad that people are stoked on it.
What was your total outcome?
It was fun. We had, I think total, we did 2 days. We had 187 people.
Tickets, right?
Yeah. And,
wow.
2 were dogs. So
there was 2 dogs.
There were 2 dogs.
There was Amy and Amy's dog from Sure Thing.
Yeah.
Who was the other dog?
There was the dogs that signed up. Amy from Sure Thing didn't have her dogs signed up on the list. She was just an accessory. There were 2 dogs that signed up. Chaga and Kimchi. Chaga and Kimchi were there, which was great. Yeah, it was.
That's a pretty good turnout, man.
Dude, that's huge.
It was great. I feel like, and even more so, like now, like we were talking about kind of before, there are people that are seeing it now that the photos are out there, like, I want to, get in here, like, let's do this. Does next week work for you? Kind of thing. Which I honestly never envisioned happening. I just wanted a community-driven event where people from downtown could come and talk to people who hang out downtown.
So what's your plans now with these images?
Yeah, I think we are going to make a physical book,
right?
Which is fun. It's like
hell
just something to
super fun.
Remember. Yeah,
and your fucking best friend
is
Blaze, who's an incredible graphic designer.
He can do
basically whip up some things.
Anything that you can think in your mind, he can put into the physical world, So he's been on a book kick too. A lot of clients are hitting him up about books, and I feel like he's in the headspace for that.
Right.
And we're probably gonna sit on the photos for a little bit, and then have him lay out, kind of
do a little,
figure out the design of it. I don't think we're gonna do like senior superlatives or like quotes or anything, but I do kind of want to have it broken up into like downtown business owners and people that make the downtown community kind of go, and then the people that just go because they like it.
That is. You have a lot to. There's a lot of different ways.
A lot to play with. Yeah. So, and I think that like it did get misconstrued, and I think making the book kind of plays into that a little more. But it'll be fun regardless.
I mean, there's a little bit of hype around it. People are talking about it.
Yeah.
And if there's a big issue, you could always do like 4th Street yearbook.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I think it was great for the community. Just in general, because you have a studio space with 2 studio mates, and you could talk about that. And then just so Mike and I showed up pretty much together, and you had donuts, you had some drinks, you had coffee. So it was cool to just, as people were coming in and going out, you did get to mingle with some people if you knew them or not, or hey, what's up? What's your name? Who are you? And things like that. So I think it was a cool little bubble of like a communal social thing as well.
Yeah, for
Outside
sure.
of just the yearbook. I don't think people showed up with the intention of just to have their photo taken. I think it was like, I might run into people and like, cool, we ran into friends. So
Yeah, I kind of wish I stayed longer.
Yeah.
We both had shit going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very cool to like just hang outside, talk to people, had cameras,
Yeah.
introduce ourselves.
A lot of just people. That was probably the coolest part for me, was that mostly people I don't know.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
like
Crazy.
sketchy for a party, very cool for an event.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there was
like,
definitely a few people where, yeah, you were like, I don't even know who
Yeah,
that
there's a
was.
couple dudes who showed up in the very beginning. You're like, yeah, dude, what's up?
I was
Yeah.
like, well, I feel like when we first started going, it was just gonna be like people I know flowing in. I was like,
Yeah.
yo,
You're
and then
just-
the first like 50 people, like except from you guys and like maybe 3 others.
Yeah.
I was like, oh hey, like, what's up? It was fun to learn, like just how they heard about it or what they do downtown, and that was a cool array of things.
You said the downtown Instagram page.
Yeah,
Shout
DTLV.
Oh, that was
And
huge.
then
Yeah.
it got like
Yeah.
a lot of buzz, right?
Got a ton of buzz off that. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, what's the name of the
I thought it
person
was
that runs
a
that page?
I thought it was a female.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know their name?
Why is it? It's something with a Z. I know it's like.
Yeah.
Well, either way, shout out to them. They always repost anything that people. It's like
It's
just,
the best. It's the best.
super cool.
Account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like not all professional photos. If it's just like you and your girlfriend take a photo downtown, you tag them.
Yep.
They'll like do a weekly recap.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say the
Really-
weekly. Yeah.
It's very inclusive. I love
That
it.
and he's like super chill. I was like, dude, it'd be great to have you out. And he was like, yeah, I kind of like lay low. And he was like, I don't really like
Yeah.
come
Let's be
out a
behind the
lot. And I was
scenes.
like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I feel like,
Like if anybody should come.
yeah, I know
Yeah,
it should be the man.
Because I think I talked to him. Like I said, it's been a few years, and I thought it was a female, but I remember the name. It's a crazy name. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, that's unique. But I remember talking to them recently about the podcast, like one of our first episodes of like, hey, we're starting a podcast. We'd love to have you on. And yeah, he said the same thing. He was like, I don't really like. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just the page. Like I'm not the page. And I was like, yeah, but like you have some cool stories. You have some cool insight.
sure.
Like you're at DTLV, like you know some shit.
Yeah.
But
Why don't we ask them to be on again, and then we'll
strong arm them.
Stronger.
No. We'll ask them to be
down
on, but we'll blur them out and deepen their voice so nobody knows who they are.
Oh, it's like the
yeah.
oh, what's the show I'm thinking of?
I know. Yeah.
Every
It's
single-
like
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Gangland.
Yeah, Gangland.
Yeah.
It's like every MS-13
Yeah.
member on television.
DTLV.
She's like backlit with like a ski mask. That would be actually pretty funny. It's like us like this, like normal lit, and then the guest is. Yeah, so I was.
No, so yeah, but that definitely kind of sparked the whole community. One of the base things was that we wanted it to be an event at our creative studio that had a creative purpose that people could come and enjoy, and that I feel like it accomplished that. I've heard pretty good things about it. Like people enjoyed it. They're excited for the book to come out, which is funny. It's like
Yeah,
We are too.
cool.
Yeah, people holding- yeah,
you
we're gonna
guys
hold
are,
you
you're
to
gonna
it.
be the cover.
we're gonna.
I don't know. That photo's pretty hard
Maybe
to
they
beat, man.
Yeah.
Photos.
I'm
great.
curious to see them all. I've seen quite a bit, because you've been people have been tagging you and you've been reposting, so I've seen quite
I've
a
been
bit.
reposting fiend. I feel terrible for everyone that follows me.
No, it's great. I mean, we're
No, but
all.
that's your. It's
Yeah. It's fun to post. It's just because everybody brought like a different.
Mm-hmm.
None of the pictures are the same.
right.
that's good.
Like you said, there was dogs in it.
there was-
What was Sam wearing? He had like this weird.
Sam had his
Face
his
mustache
thing?
hat.
his mustache hat thing. Very Canadian of him.
Is toque? Toot?
Is it? I don't know what it's called.
No, it's the beanie with the ball on top of it. I think it's called a toque. I think it's a Canadian thing.
No, his didn't have a ball, did it?
No.
was like
he
a
had
brown-
He had a full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His is a little different.
He had a full.
He's a man of mystery.
Yeah, that man, definitely. The other one we took was him holding up his phone. How he does
with the
with
asshole.
yeah, you'd have to go and check it out, see if he posted it. Not sure if that one's making it into the public.
I feel like it would.
It would. He
It's
posts it all the
very
time.
on brand for
Yeah.
him.
Sam posts that now.
Yeah. By the time you listen to this,
Yeah, so that was great. I'm super excited about it, and it hit hit everything we kind of wanted it
Yeah.
to hit.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Just show people the studio space as well.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, that was our first time there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that studio come about? That's something that Sean and I have been loosely looking into.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
But,
so that was kind of Blaze's thing. I know we're talking about him a lot, but he is like my
Right.
You get Mike and Sean, it's Blaze and Cole for sure. Like at least in the artist world, like
Right.
everything I do is
well, yeah, he's also your best friend.
yeah,
so,
for sure fits in. So he was looking for a space because at the time we were both like living at our mom's house and we were doing the coffee shop thing
Right.
every day, and it was like it's fine, but also it's like I don't want to sit.
I don't like coffee that much.
I don't want to. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
want to like sit at Mothership or Dark Moon for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Like there's not. It's nice for 3 or 4, and then it's like okay. So he was looking for a spot. Kind of knew that we wanted it to be downtown. Oh, he knew that for him, he wanted it to be downtown. We were looking at spaces. For him, went to this one space that was like, dude, this was so good. The journey for it was so funny. Because I had never thought about getting a space for myself.
Oh,
like
okay.
Most of my shooting is on location.
Right.
Not studio. Like didn't own strobes until I got the studio. Never really even thought about it as a type of shooting for me.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, this would be cool. Like if he got a spot, I would just grab like a wall or
Right.
something. And then like, if I ever needed to, I could have a space to use it. So yeah, we go and look at this first space across Charleston on like the north side, and the north side of the arts district. And it's just this building, and we walk in and this guy just has like taped sections out.
Okay.
And I'm talking like this big.
Okay.
And we're like, and it's like $9.50 a month.
Oh, and he was taping off the sections
Taping
to
off
rent?
like you get this section for $9.50 a month, and then like 3 feet would be another section. And he
Okay.
goes, you can build a wall, but you can't build it to the ceiling because of city code. And I was like, dude, what? We got to get out of here.
Yeah, this
I was
is
like,
not
we're
us.
getting out of here.
Yeah.
That was the first place we looked at. I was like, this is going to be terrible. So we went to another spot that was great. It was a little out of like our price range, over in Art Square, which was
Oh, gotcha.
dude. Those places are sweet,
Yeah.
like awesome.
Oh, those are Art Square. That's
It's right next to Bin 18.
Yep,
Yeah,
18
yeah.
bin,
I think it's connected
across
to the same building.
yeah.
it's across the road, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
okay.
Yeah, I've walked through there.
Mhm. They have some great spaces. There's cool shops, and definitely that feeling we just didn't make it work.
Yeah.
And then we went to our buddy who is a tattoo artist, Nico. Here was in a spot, and we heard that there were open spaces there.
Okay.
And we were going to check it out, and we met the landlord. Shout out Amy. And we walked in, and it was like an old law office, we think, or like some kind of, I think it was a law office. And it was big, like it's like 1,000 square feet. Kind of walked in, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like this could work. And there's a hallway, and then you walk around, and it was like way bigger than we thought.
Okay.
And so it was me, Blaze, and our singer-songwriter buddy, Jay Douglas. And we all kind of were like, whoa, this is like 3 separate spots.
Right.
You know, we all kind of have something we can do. And it just fell into place that that was the spot. So it kind of took, I think it took a lot of like thinking as to why we shouldn't do it. That was
Okay.
kind of the approach we took. Like,
Smart.
why should we not?
Right.
Why should us 3 friends not get in this space together, close to like our favorite bars and restaurants that we go to every
Right.
weekend to work and like, you know,
Are we gonna be productive?
yeah, I was like, is anything gonna get done in here?
Right.
And then nothing. The pros definitely outweighed the cons for the studio space.
Nice.
So
Which is good.
That was fun. And then we went full demo, full.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Changed it up completely.
Oh, shit.
All by ourselves. Had no idea that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. No idea that we could do that. Like, tore out everything, sanded the floors, laid concrete paint, painted
That's
all
a lot
the
of work.
walls, changed the floorboards,
dang.
wrapped up some stuff. Like, just, dude, crackle anything that I didn't know I could do.
You did it.
Yeah. And now it's Fourth Street Hotel Casino Resort, baby.
That's awesome.
That was Blaze's name for it, which
Yeah,
is
that's
funny.
sick.
That was a good one when DTLV posted it. He was like, "Oh, and it's not an actual.
It's not an
hotel
actual-
casino
yeah.
resort. It's about the size of this garage, I would say. It's like probably all around. But yeah, that's kind of the birth of the studio, and played into like we had our opening party, we had my birthday party, and we had Jay's birthday party.
Okay.
And so I was like, is this like
This is work
is
or
this
play.
an event space or is it like a creative studio?
That's the beauty of having the space, though.
Yeah.
Exactly, but that was definitely something where I wanted like the yearbook event to like have a creative thing in our creative space that didn't involve
Just partying.
right? Like, yeah.
A little more intention.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to spend a day cleaning it after
go.
every event I do. So this one definitely
Less rowdy, more creative.
turned out to be great. Yeah, and I'm super stoked that you guys came and might have taken the best photo.
We'll
Maybe.
take it.
Maybe.
We'll take it. I don't know if you're just,
Maybe.
you're
That's 'cause
pandering to us,
no.
but
Yeah,
No.
you
We'll
might go on
take
another
it.
podcast.
No.
and say they had the great
every
photo.
conversation, your photo. I mean,
Hey, did you come to
Yeah.
downtown Yearbook and you have a podcast? I'd like to be on it and tell you that you had the best photo.
well, I mean, I'll give, like I said, from the photos I've seen, I'll give Amy and the dog. That one's
For
just
sure.
probably above ours.
Yeah.
I would say.
Sure thing.
Ours is great. but-
Sure thing came ready for it.
That's right, because you also
Victoria, Lauren.
She dressed up as
Amy.
Shirley, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
She was Shirley.
I think we're getting down to like 2 and 3 spots now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a way to be more creative.
Where?
We were so busy that week. For that, I was like, how could we do it? Like,
No, I think it was
be
perfect.
goofy.
So hard when you guys are so good looking. It's like, why ruin the
Don't do too much.
Why ruin that? You know.
Yeah, why take away from that?
Yeah.
Right? So lately, I've been struggling with a few things. So I feel like I'm a people pleaser
Okay.
lately, and I've been maybe I have some gigs that overlap, or maybe I have a gig pop up where I have to say no to a gig because it's more beneficial for myself and my career. And I get severe anxiety from it, and I get like I feel super bad and guilty, like I'm letting people down, and I am letting people down. So I've been dealing with that lately. But I was talking to a friend of mine, Steve, and he was saying, "Yeah, well, sometimes you got to make those decisions if they're better for you in the long run." So, like for instance, I've been doing this gig, and I committed to 9 of these gigs, and they're really low paying, but I just wanted to do it to get better in that specific field. But it keeps just falling on days that I get booked for other things that are, this gig is very low paying compared to the ones I'm
Okay.
getting paid for.
Okay.
So I'm talking like, like 5 times more money
Oh shit.
easily.
Okay.
I mean, it's very low money, so it's not actually a lot of
it's
money.
not. Yeah.
So it came to a point where I had to just email them yesterday and give up the rest of the things. So I felt really guilty about that, and I felt bad about that. Have you guys ever struggled with that or ran into those issues? Because I hate fucking letting clients down. I think I handled it really professionally, and I like got somebody to fill in for me. I took care of everything. So I still probably burned that bridge, but those are the things that I think about that keep me up at night. I don't know if you guys ever struggle with that or had to deal with that recently.
I definitely recently, like Super Bowl weekend, for sure.
Yeah,
Here was like,
Yeah.
I feel like gigs were coming my way in the last like
Week of.
week of, or like dude like day before. And I was just like, I'm already booked for that time, and there was like one that was higher paying than the other one. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do it because I'm already booked for this.
How does it-
And
yeah,
like,
that's-
it does definitely feel like you're it's just like a little, I feel like they're gonna take it personally, which I know they're probably not.
Right.
Like,
And you're just talking about strictly just saying no because you're already booked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that bugs me too. I feel that breaks my heart having to say no because I'm already booked. But I'm talking like I had to like just bail on gigs because I got other gigs with pre-existing clients that I've worked with for years. So it's better in the long run. I'm keeping them happy. It's not even all about it's not even all about monetary value either.
Yeah. Right.
It's just a better direction, you know.
Two parts. The one part that really sticks out as far as bailing on one, client or gig to pick up another. I had 2 gigs, and then that Sick New World happened, and so I had to bail on those. That, yeah. I had to go with my gut and be like, I want to shoot this music festival. For sure. Yeah, I already had these other 2 things locked in, but I felt personally that like one of the gigs was for another photographer, so I was like, he could handle it, like he's good. And the other one was a client I'd worked with, but I was like, it's just event stuff. Like I'll facilitate another photographer in your place, which I did. It didn't end up working out with the person I recommended, but I at least tried my best. So that part I felt guilty of, like, it's a shitty thing to do. I don't recommend bailing on your prior engagements to then do something else. But in general, if I had to bail or I'm already booked, I don't really feel guilty. I just get a little bit bummed out that I'm like, that would be cool to like just move your thing to where I could do both. Yeah. But I don't really let it eat at me.
If you also like you said, if you get another photographer, facilitate everything, that's definitely in a way that.
Yeah, like I made it.
You should feel,
as fucking exactly. Possible. Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm not going to be there, but this person is at the same time for the same rate. Yeah. Then you can't. I mean,
and I gave him all the fucking details, and like I'll even go with him and help him on the first time to bridge the gap. Yeah, but.
It still feels like...
Yeah, I just feel... because I let her down. I'm like, until I committed to something, and then I had to bail, which I fucking hate.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think that's just human nature that, you do feel bad as a people pleaser, as a business, as, Mike Kirschbaum putting your best foot forward. So I think that's just the way that the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
And I know, like, for us, we just want every gig.
Right.
Like, I want to be able to shoot.
I'm a fucking whore. I want everything.
I want to shoot every gig that is brought up to me. Nothing overlaps.
Dude, I want to go into the future and clone myself and bring it back so I can shoot multiple gigs at the same time.
Yeah. Dude, it's funny because Ivana was telling me that the other day. She was like, what if you got to a point where, like, you were, like, hiring people out under you? And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want that stress.
It's cool. So this is the goal. I know what she's saying.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
There's room for that to be done. What I want to do is I want to just book a big enough client to where I could bring my friends to the same gig and we could all work together.
That'd be fun.
That's what I want.
That'd be great.
I don't want to fucking subcontract out people and make money off other people. Like, no.
Yeah, that's what she's telling me. I was like, that doesn't interest me. That adds. She's like, yeah, but then you could be shooting this while you're someone shooting that for you and you're still making some money. I'm like, that just sounds like it's
pyramid
an
scheme.
Extra. Yeah, I was like, that just sounds like more stress though, because like, let's just say that they fuck up or something happens. Now it's on me because it's under my name.
For sure.
There's a certain type of person that could do that full time, and that person just doesn't. I feel like maybe doesn't care as much as we do, because it would stress me out.
Oh,
yeah. Like, what if they don't show up? Are you there on time? Is your work as good as mine?
Yep.
Those are things that go through me. Some people are just like, I don't know, and then they just do it, and then
sure.
Yeah.
Well, then also more specifically, because she was talking about like with like my events and elopements, and I'm like, yeah, but I can't just have somebody who like is good at shooting film or is comfortable shooting film and then sub them under me, because what I pride myself on also is like a lot of people do like my personality. I think that shines through.
Your brand.
Right. I said, I think that does shine through as like the human interaction with them. So I could find somebody on paper or I could mentor them and they could be great at like on the technical aspect. But what if they just aren't me and then don't jive as well, or the client was, I really wanted you. So I'm like, I don't want that stress.
Completely agree with you. So I think there is a time and a place to subcontract out people.
There can be,
like say you have like a client that you always work with and you're unavailable for something. They're like, hey, just find me someone.
Yeah.
I trust you. Then that works. Or like, for instance, on Super Bowl weekend, I had a client and it was a 2-part gig over 2 days. I couldn't do one day, so I had my buddy cover it. And then I covered the big day the second day.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah.
But the goal, man, I think, is to book big gigs where I could bring all my friends.
That'd be fun.
You know?
Almost, I feel like we should start a media agency. That's what they get to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't there enough?
Yeah, I mean,
Isn't there enough
That's what I
of
was
them?
thinking. Yeah.
there is enough.
We don't have
but
to start an agency. We could just do it ourselves.
We could do it.
Yeah, I don't want to wear matching shirts and stuff. That's lame. No disrespect.
You
to
just
anybody
triggered
with
like
matching
half my
shirts.
clients.
No. I have, I work with an agency
Yeah,
too. I love
for
them.
sure.
That's true.
But
yeah.
like, yeah, me personally, like,
Yeah. Freelance.
yeah. Like,
It's
oh,
fun
that's
that
my
way.
homie. That's my homie. That's my homie.
Yep.
Like, whatever. Yeah.
I agree. Gonna make that happen for us, Mike. Come on.
I'll try my best.
Hurry up.
Yeah, I'll try. It's hard though. I feel like those big gigs like that, I feel like those agencies obviously have like a huge hold on them.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the only time I get to like hire my buddies is like for like a conference, which
Yeah,
isn't as
yeah,
fun.
Yeah.
And we're all wearing lame shirts, and they're polos.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah.
That's true. We did do that one conference.
And you
But
matched, you matched in polos?
No.
Nah, we just try to spruce it up slightly.
dang it,
Instead of wearing a
okay.
t-shirt, I wear
Yeah,
a
yeah.
t-shirt with a collar. And they're like, "Oh, this guy's
this
busy
guy knows what he's
casual."
doing.
Yeah,
this guy knows what he's doing.
We got the
Watch
right
out.
man for the job.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, and that was fun. I had a great time, but it's not very titillating.
Yeah.
It's good financially, but yeah, I digress.
Cole, what's your process like? Are you? Let me elaborate.
Starting from one. Yeah.
Are you? So I don't know why I brought
Usually I
this
wake up, I take a piss.
Yeah.
Are you?
Put my pants on, maybe a shirt.
Maybe
Wait
maybe
for
a
my morning
shirt.
wood to go down.
Are you formal with contracts, or are you very trusting with people's word? Like, do you vet clients in order to get to that point to trust them, or are you like, it's every client is a contract, or like an agreement?
Yeah. For my like monthly, I have a couple monthly retainer clients that I definitely am contracted with, that I will either write or have somebody write. That kind of just assures that there's something in writing.
Okay.
But for a lot of like the small businesses that I work with, I usually just will text them like, "Hey, this is my rate. This is what you're gonna get." And then you have like the rights to the photo,
Okay.
and you can use them. And it's usually just as simple as a text for that client outreach, but definitely with those monthly retainers, I have a
little more solid.
Yeah, contract just in case anything goes awry. It's like not like I'm gonna take it to court,
Right?
over,
Send the
it's
fucking
not
loan
like
sharks.
$1 million, but it is kind of a like, hey, you agreed to this, I agreed to this. Let's make sure we're on the same path with
Funny
each
story
other.
about contracts.
Deal.
I just had a client yesterday. They were real adamant about having a contract, and I was like, "Hey, man, like," and then so I was like, "Hey, if you want a contract, I'll put something up like real general for you."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm being middleman. Like I'm hired by this one company, and then another company hired them, so it's like talking through this company, so it's a huge pain in the ass.
Gotcha.
Also, I'm retarded, so contracts are a lot for
No,
me.
too many words.
Yeah,
Way
so
too many words.
I got a good one on a website. I fucking filled it all out. I thought it looked great. And then I sent it and they fucking just, they just tore it apart.
Oh, they had a freaking
redline the
red.
shit
Yeah, I
out
was
of
gonna
it.
say,
Dude.
this and this and this.
Yeah, and then I had to call them this morning and they're like, she's like, "Hey, this is pretty crazy. I'm so sorry." So there were some things on there like I have the right, basically just explaining to the client that these are still my images. I'm not selling you the copyrights. You have digital usage rights.
Yep.
And in there, it did say like I have the right to, and it says sell, repurpose these images, put them on my website because I own the copyrights.
For
They're
you.
like, why would this
For you,
person
yeah.
ever want to resell these images of our attendees for this conference? I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, they took
no.
it. They actually read it and took it
Yeah.
literal. Okay.
Oh no.
And then they're like, there's a lot of like typos from the font. And I'm like, dude. So I'm like, guys, I'm almost like, I'm about to just tell them fuck off, but
You're using words I don't understand, and
Yeah.
I take it as a sign of
I
disrespect.
noticed
Yeah.
this one sentence is in italic.
yeah. And then there was another part on there. Oh, basically like this is like kind of a broader, more generalized contract that I'm using too. But there's a section in there saying like, hey, like if I miss any of these images for reasons that are uncontrollable, like you guys can't like get on my ass about it. Like for instance, if you're at a wedding and you're about to shoot them kiss and some dickhead stands up in front of you with a phone, it's like, hey man,
Yeah.
like, it's out of my control.
Yep.
And then they're like, well, I don't understand this. Why would this ever be in here? Photographers don't talk like this. We're going to give him a shot list. He has to follow strictly to this. And I'm like, guys, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Why don't you just send me a contract that you guys want?
Exactly.
So I'll usually do that. I'm like a maybe 40-60 contract, like 40 being the contract, 60% not being contracts. So if I have a client, I'll usually ask them first, like, do you guys have a contract that you want me to sign? Because it's usually way easier, especially from that client's going to have their verbiage and their, specifications. Because, mine is a little bit, I feel like it's like kind of, what's the word? Amateur. It's pretty basic. Like, it's professional looking, but as far as like legal jargon, it's just.
That's what I thought. I was like, this looks great.
This looks great. They're like, you can't put
this
half
is
of that
so
in there.
Send.
I think that's definitely, the smart way to go is to ask.
I usually ask first, like, do you guys already have something? Because most times, depending the client, they will have something, and you're like, cool, I just enter my, input of it and sign it and send off. But I had a few bounce backs like, well, this is sent to the wrong. You need to address this to her. I'm like, well, you could have told me that. But sure, let's change it.
Yeah, it makes me feel like a fucking idiot. I'm like, God.
It does.
Damn it.
But that's not, that's not what we specialize.
Oh, I felt like it. Speaking of feeling like an idiot with a client, I had a client the other day. I sent a invoice, and I'll usually require a deposit for everything across the board. I always like 30% up front.
Yep.
Instead of a contract, it just holds us both accountable.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, I emailed after the shoot, I follow up of like, okay, the remaining balance, and like the accounting department's like, it's already been paid, and like just the verbiage in which she said it was already like so like condescending of like, I paid it in full, and I was like, well, unfortunately, like it's showing on my end that you didn't pay it in full, and I screenshots. So we're going back and forth. She's screenshotting on her end. It left our bank, and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, but that's not how this is working, because on my end, it's telling me that you didn't. So in the end, she was right. It just, the way QuickBooks was, it didn't show on my end that she did pay in full up front. But I just felt like an idiot at the end of it because I was trying to over-explain, and I was like, I'm in the right, lady. Like, this, I know how this is. And then in the end, she was like, no, dumbass. Like, we paid in full. And I was like, oh,
okay,
cool.
She's like, we're going with a different photographer.
Right, next time you ain't fucking,
Yeah, that was the other thing, too, is that they wanted to pay 50% up front and 50% after. And I'm like, it's unnecessary. I was like, you can just pay me the 100% afterwards. I was like, I do this all the time.
Yeah.
It's a conference. You're a big company. I'm not concerned.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, then client's insisting. I'm like, God fucking. So now I'm like, are they gonna be up my ass like the entire
They're
gig?
probably.
And I'm like, is this $3,000 worth it? Like,
don't you feel like that kind of ruins a shoot?
Yeah, I mean it can for sure.
What do you like?
Just like when you
it
like
depends the type
feel
of shoot.
like for sure, but like if you have obviously shot list, great. Need to tackle everything on the shot list.
Right.
I feel like there's been some times where I'm like, am I getting like, is this exactly what they need? Is this like exactly what they need? And then you send them the photos and they're like, it goes either way. It's like, oh, these are great. Or, hey, do you have a couple more? And you're like, fuck, I thought about that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, every time I think we talked about in the last episode, but I'm like, sometimes like a shot list is just guideline. Like, hey, get this, or here's the chain of events run of show. This is happening at this time. Cool, be here. And at other times it's like, you need to get this and this and this. And then of course the one thing you don't get, they're like, hey, do you have any photos of this person? You're like, they didn't even fucking show up. Like, what? No, I don't even know who that is. So
events. I don't not want somebody down my throat. Leave me the fuck alone.
No, yeah, exactly.
A commercial shoot, editorial shoot.
Of course.
The client's over my shoulder, and it's welcomed.
Yeah.
But in an event, like, give me a shot list. Let me do my thing.
Yeah. Give me,
especially a corporate event where it's like super just dry, like keynote speaker, like whatever. Don't leave me alone.
Yeah.
Let me do my thing.
You don't need to be down their throat on that. It's like, just give me run of show, or give me, key elements that, this is happening here, and make sure to get this in this room, or this happening at this time. And then let me go. Yeah. Like, I'll get it. Trust me.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't want, to be like, what about this?
That's where some weddings could be rough when you get like the the mom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's always. Yeah,
Hey, can you get this? Can you
There's
get that?
literally,
Hey,
yeah.
You got this.
The best is when they're like, "Hey, photographer," and you're like, "Oh, at least there's only 20 of us in
It's
this room."
Mr. Photographer. You can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm just like
Mr. Photographer to you, lady.
I'm just like, dude, there's 20 of us in this room. Like, you could fucking call me by my name,
Or
at
just
least
say,
ask
"Hey,
my
what's
name.
your name?
Right.
That's the
Oh,
other. Yeah.
That's one thing that sent me.
I feel like I have never shot a big wedding, and I probably won't.
Yeah.
And I don't feel the need
That's
to.
why I like them small. I like them intimate.
The
See, but
intimate
then
ones are fun.
I like the big ones where I could. Yeah, giggity. I like the big ones where I could shoot with my friends though. That's fun.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what were we talking about before? Shot list run. Oh yeah, someone tell like.
Just
yeah,
like I feel like even if it's cookie cutter like event thing, corporate thing, it's still fun. Like shooting is going to be fun regardless because it's.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
And I don't want
like every time I'm at an event like that and I get bored, I'm like, oh, I'd much rather be doing this than fucking bartending this event. Look at that poor
yeah.
sucker.
or sitting at this corporate event
Or being
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
being at this
Actually, I would
event that you
rather
don't
be
give a
the
fuck
bartender
about.
than
yeah,
that, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
some of those are.
dude, speaking of events, so I did this one last week where it was for 7-Eleven and they had a whole show. Like performed like a Vegas Cirque show-esque.
Hell
Dude,
yeah.
they had BMXers, they had the trampoline on the wall guys, they had what's the people that hang from like the aerial people? Anyway, they had a whole thing, and then by the end I was talking to the client and I'm like, what is this? I was like, is this like a residency show? And she's like, no, it's one like tonight, that's it. And it's like 7-Eleven. And I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, and that's all I really had to go off of. So I was like, okay, cool. It's just documenting a show.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, as I was roaming the crowd, I realized everyone's name tag, their badge had 7-Eleven on it. And I was like, oh, they're all 7-Eleven employees.
Was it employees or was it the 7-Eleven franchisee?
I
conference?
think it was
Owners.
kind of,
Because I've done one, and it was
Everything.
all the 7-Eleven owners
yeah.
around the U.S. got invited.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. And it didn't click on me until I saw, like I said, everyone's badge and name tag. And I was like, oh, they're all employees. And then I was like, afterwards, I was sitting there, and I was like, wait, 7-Eleven just put on this whole show for its own employees? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who does that? Like, it was just so random. Like, there was giant people on stilts as zebras. Like, I was just like, what a weird ass thing. You're like, yeah, company's flying us to Vegas for this show.
Kind of cool though. Like that.
Yeah.
Shout out 7-Eleven for
Yeah, I did something like a few years ago with Tom, and it
Yeah.
was for the franchisee owners.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're making them a grip of money. They have to pay
dude.
20% of whatever they make.
yeah,
to this,
for sure.
You know.
Yeah.
So the least they could do is fly them out and get them hammered and put on a Cirque
Yeah,
show
but
for
it was
us
just so funny.
once
I'm
a
like,
year.
what is this for?
Did they like give out awards too?
No, this is literally just the show. I don't know what happened before or after that because
Okay.
like the show itself, top to bottom, was an hour. So it just
That's all you had to cover.
it just ripped through the show, dancers and all that stuff. But it was just like, yeah, I was like, what a weird,
Crazy thing.
what?
Just for 7-Eleven too.
Just for 7-Eleven, and it was like their own like internal, like I said, employees or franchise owners. I don't know, but I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I've worked for a company. I never got like some private Cirque show
No.
for just one day.
Wonder how much that's got to
What was your favorite gig Super Bowl week? Anything that really was
Stood
super
out.
fun or stood out?
What did I?
Yeah,
It was nightlife stuff.
Cool.
Mostly. So
Nice.
it was run of the mill. It's like DJ Pauly D.
Standard shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
DJ Pauly D.
DJ Pauly
Jewel,
D.
which was fun.
Nice.
Um,
With all the hair gel.
all the hair gel. Yeah, I got a really good side profile shot of him that I
Hold dear to your
oh,
heart.
dude, it's like silhouetted and it's just the perfect
Nice.
the blowback hair, like him hand up.
You think he does his
Love
own
it.
hair, or does he have somebody?
I don't know.
I think he's got to do his own hair.
He's
his
got-
own hair, right?
yeah.
His hair's looked like that for like 20 years.
Yeah,
No.
that's true.
Oh, at least
That's
he's
got to
good.
be one of the longest. He's got to be more famous for the hairstyle
There's-
Not only the hairstyle, the hairline. He's looked the same forever.
for sure.
Well, I'll do you one just as well.
do you one better.
MMA fighter Chuck Liddell, the Mohawk.
oh, true.
Fuck, he's had that same hairstyle for like 40 years.
Well, he's smart. As soon as it started to recede, he's like, "I'll just do the middle."
All right,
I'll
but that's
dodge
one
all
thing
of
I've
the-
always thought about. I'm like, bro, but you've had the same
hair.
for like 40
Easy as
years.
that.
That's it. That's my thing.
I saw a picture of him the other day. It almost looks just painted on his head now.
Yeah.
It is like just
just the
I
strip.
think I saw him doing Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
It's like real small now and real just. It's like you
But
can
he's
go
still
bald now.
rocking it.
Yeah, it's
He's-
still rocking
he's
it.
I
holding
like
on
to
to it.
imagine that when Pauly D turns like 75, it just kind of floats back,
You
but
think-
it's still blown back. So it gets to that
Like the
point where
sides
it's
is
like,
just blown.
yeah, it's like
Almost
it's,
like a
everything
Statue of
is
Liberty
going
crown.
still, but it's like at the top of his head, like the halfway through his hairline. That's when I want to. That's what I'm excited.
That's what
for.
I want. I want to
when
see.
he's when he's 80 at DJing at Jewel.
You think?
That's what I'm excited for. Yeah, that was a fun one. It was just busy all around because that Saturday it was the makeup day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think.
So I shot. Yeah,
Johnny was like, "Are you going?" And then we were at another event during the week. I'm like, "What? It's Super Bowl." I was like, "No way."
No way.
I
know.
wish.
I didn't even.
Didn't dawn on you.
It
It
didn't dawn on me when
yeah.
when
Set
we
that up.
made it, and I was just like, "Oh my god, what am I doing?" So it was event Friday night. Wake up.
Makeup day.
Donut hole opening in the morning.
Right. Okay. So you had that.
So I shot
Oh,
that,
shit.
and then I was like, "Well, I'll just grab the donuts and bring them to the thing." Makeup day, left makeup day, and then had like a housewarming party thing to go to, and then had the nightlife shoot, and then was up and back before Super Bowl for this pregame watch party
Nice.
event thing, and it was just bouncing around. I felt like I was just glad to not be booked during the game. Like I got to watch the game
Okay.
Oh,
at a
nice.
friend's house, which was fun, and then woke up Monday and it was right back to it. I think Magic and Project was in town that week,
That's
so I
right,
was
yeah.
with them for 3 days. It just kind of whirlwind of a weekend,
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
awesome.
I can't imagine how it was for you guys. It was like,
Yeah. February's been
I don't remember.
crazy.
yeah, I know. I literally, you were probably,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
you were everywhere.
Yeah. Just overbooking myself.
Yeah. I mean, I literally just flew to New York for a day. Like,
It's
what the
just-
fuck?
It's crazy.
I know, dude. Just getting on those 2 flights there and back in
Yeah.
a day sounds horrible.
Yeah, I flew out Tuesday night, red eye, 11 p.m., and then flew back.
So wait, you flew at night, got there at what time?
Landed. I got to my hotel at 8 a.m. on Wednesday. Took a nap. Cleaning lady came in, which I don't know why. Like you see, she could have been robbing me, and I was just like, I woke up. I think I saw a person. She was like, "Oh shit, sorry," and then I fell back asleep. Woke up at like noon, shot some B-roll, and then my event was at 4.
Oh,
Okay.
Cool.
Shot the
you gotta
event.
sleep in the morning then.
Yeah.
As long as you get, dude, if you
Yeah.
don't nap after those red eyes,
No,
cancel.
I was
cancel
done.
everything.
Yeah, you better be paying me like an exorbitant amount of money. I'm not.
Pay was decent.
Oh,
For sure.
They took care of me, but yeah. And then, so shot the event, 4 to 7:30, wrapped, backed up footage, and then ate some food at the hotel, and then 6 a.m. flight back home.
Damn.
Okay, so you got to sleep before
I got
the
to
flight.
sleep, yeah.
All right, nice. Yeah.
Little naps.
Oh, it was bougie then, dude. Jeez.
in and out,
slept a
dude.
lot.
In and out.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's just cross country for.
Yeah, dude. That's why when they hit me up, because they were like, it was like literally like Sunday night, maybe. Like, any chance you're available Wednesday for a 3-hour shoot in New York? And I was like, technically, yes. And I was like, but I have a wedding on Tuesday and a wedding on Thursday. So outside of that, let's do it.
Sure.
And they
Yeah.
were like, all right, we're finding flights.
That's fucking insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, like how much extra money that they had to like
Yeah, put in
hotel and a fucking flight.
Yeah. But it was for made goods. So they're probably thinking, we could probably try to find somebody in New York.
Yeah.
But it's like, if it's our,
Yeah.
like they've worked with me a
I'm
lot.
thinking from a client perspective, like fucking throw a rock and find somebody here.
yeah.
Yeah, but again, if that's already their relationship, they're
Exactly.
like, look,
Yeah.
we want
No, I'm
you.
happy that you got the gig. I'm just thinking like,
Yeah, there was
From
a
that
lot.
standpoint, it's
There
like,
was a lot
Jesus.
easier. I'm sure there was a lot. I mean, maybe right. On one hand, you could say there's a lot easier routes to go about it. On the other hand, it's like you flew this dude from Vegas, like from
or this was
Monday.
the easy route.
That's what I'm
It was like,
saying.
oh, I got a
Exactly.
guy. We just gotta give him a flight.
Right. Just
yeah.
get his ass on a plane.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that regard, I feel like it's actually a question for both of you. I feel like being freelance is like a lot like being like a hitman. Because like you show up to these gigs and half the time you don't even really know what you're shooting. And what always reminds me of it, or like what like brings me back to reality, is like when I'm shooting a gig, an event or a client, and some random person's there and they're like, "Oh, what are you shooting for? Or like, where are these photos or video going?" You're like, I don't know, dude.
No
It's
idea.
I was told to show up. Here I am.
I feel, that's definitely, happened a lot recently, especially at those event things, like, or any convention thing. Like anything convention wise, you're just, you know what you need to shoot, but you're just walking around and people are like, hey, take a picture of me, take a picture of me, take a picture of me. And I'm like, I did like, okay.
All right,
and
sure.
like, where can I find that? I'm like, the internet.
Yeah, couldn't tell you.
The internet, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that in and out, kind of.
Yeah. Well, what are you shooting for? You're like, I couldn't tell you.
I was told to be here.
Yeah.
So that works. But
yeah, I don't know. I just show up and do my thing, and then, yeah.
You're like, I couldn't give you many more details. And this lady named Mary emailed me. This is the time frame, and here's what I'm doing. I don't know anything outside of that.
will you guys, but probably for like a more, let's say for a more chill event or something, will you, if someone's like, hey, take a picture of me, and then they're like, can I get that from you?
Less and less.
Will you guys? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it depends if I have more information about the event or the client, then I just say, hey, you know, this I'm sending it
Reach
to
out to
marketing.
yeah.
Like,
That's usually what I do. Just like reach out the point of contact.
Yeah, try to put it on somebody else.
Exactly. Like I shot a Galentine's event on right before Valentine's at Cherry Rooftop, and it was maybe like 20 girls, influencers they invited. Same thing. They're like, oh, where can we find the photos? And I'm like, I'm sending it to what's her face at marketing, and that's, you talk to her. And it's like, okay, cool. And then other times I'm like, I don't know where you're gonna get them, sir. Like,
just Dropbox link that I'm not sending you.
How could I get these?
Can you text them to me?
You know what I like though?
Yeah.
The second you put it on somebody else, they're like, oh,
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, never mind.
It's gone. Yeah.
Like they're not gonna ask.
No.
That's a big thing at that like Project Magic show.
Oh,
Because it's like everyone's dressed to the nines and they're like, yo, get a pic of me. Yo, where can I find these? And I'm like, you can DM the Instagram.
Find.
And they're like, no,
Never mind.
never mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you don't want them anyway.
I
Yeah.
instantly do not care after you said what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want me to stop what I'm doing?
If it's not, let me airdrop them to you right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, that always happens in the clubs. Is like, oh, could you send it to me? And I'm just like, I don't have enough time to even have this conversation. And then
Sam kills that. I feel like Sam, everything he reposts from people in the clubs, Samuela the Canadian. Yeah, he like everything he reposts is like him slinging photos to people, which is awesome. In that
Sam
space for sure.
And then Sammy just started putting them on his website.
Oh,
so
Sammy Dean?
Yeah. So he puts them on his website, and he just gives him his website, and then he put a tip jar on there.
Oh, that's
so
a
like the
genius
dancers,
idea.
the waitresses, the bussers. He'll take pictures of everybody, puts them on the website, and then
Cool.
that's genius. That's a hustler right
That's
there.
smart. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That dude is a hustler.
yeah, he's in Egypt right now.
He was telling me
Sammy
that.
is?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. He went with his dad, and then his dad bailed on him.
That's what he
They
said.
got there, and then his dad, he's Syrian, and his father's Syrian. His father's from Syria. They got to Egypt, and he's like, I'm going to go to Syria. And then Sam's like, okay.
What?
Sam's just by himself in Egypt for 9 days. Just fucking.
He sent me a photo of the pyramids. I said, wow, the Luxor looks different.
Yeah, we have one of those here in town.
Yeah, I was like, why'd you need to leave?
Why'd you go? No, we have one of those here, right?
It's a big Dorito right now.
Is there a buffet on the inside of that pyramid there, Sammy?
Yeah, seriously.
So what are some goals that you have within your career? Any like doesn't have to be super specific, or any maybe milestones or any things you want to do in the future?
So, yeah, that's a very broad question. There's a ton of things. I think just one of the things like have we talked about before is just like making freelancing work. Like I think that is kind of a
Just continue
goal
on the
that I have. Just
trajectory
yeah,
that you're
and I
on.
would obviously love to grow. Like the goal is to have a family and do the whole the whole thing and be able to
White
live
picket fence
comfortably. White picket
red
fence.
dog.
Yeah,
A dog?
Yeah, dog. Golden retriever. Already have it. So
There you go. You're
on
starting.
the way there.
Chucking through that list.
Yeah, I don't know like personally the way I grew up. I was blessed enough to have two parents that like had well-paying jobs,
Right.
And so I would like to pass that down to my kids, at least to
Yeah.
the things that I liked as a kid. the vacationing or like going out to
Yeah,
eat.
the quality of
like,
life.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
was so solid growing up that I think that is more of a thing that pushes me, is like being able to give that to my someday kids or dog.
Right. Or just
or just dog if the kid thing don't work out. And then I think goal wise, like I would like to, obviously we're in the mecca of entertainment. So
yeah,
I do kind of want to shift into like that side more. Like all of your guys, I love like the music stuff. I don't really shoot a lot of music. Would like to kind of get there, but definitely just push myself into different spaces that like we kind of touched on earlier. Things that I'm like not sure I can do, or I just have never done.
Yeah.
And then doing them and like pushing out and reaching more people. I don't really have like set in stone, everyone's like, what's your 5-year plan?
No, yeah.
But just
keep
grow,
doing what you're doing.
grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
kind
push
of
yourself.
Stay on the right track, talk to the right people.
Yeah. That's where I'm
have
at.
everybody. Yeah.
Just continue what I'm doing for as long as I can.
Yeah.
More financial freedom.
Exactly.
And,
Definitely.
to push myself creatively and physically.
There had been, before I got pretty busy with photography work, I definitely I want to own like my own business, not just a photography.
Okay. Is it like a?
I have some
like a brick and mortar type of business.
No, it's
Okay.
a fun idea. I'll
Okay.
tell you guys off the.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had it for a while. I just never. I'm blessed and very thankful that photography has been taking over
Fruitful.
my entire life. Like it's really all I do. But yeah, maybe in the long run, I'll start this and try and see if it's just a fun little side gig that can turn into anything.
yeah.
But
Diversify your revenue stream.
more portfolio, man. Come on.
All right, I got one other question for you.
Yep.
Is there any advice that you'd give your younger self? No specific age, just younger Cole. If you can go back and be like, hey, dude, here's some words of wisdom.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like kind of stick to like what you know and what you're doing, and don't veer off that path for too long in a way that doesn't sidetrack you from what you want to do. So like Boise. I feel like Boise, or like often like in a work way, just like kind of staying locked in on what I'm doing. Just staying focused and motivated. I think I don't have never had an ADHD brain, like don't get super sidetracked, but when I do, it's just like fall off the horse. So I think staying motivated and positivity has been just a huge thing. I kind of have that outlook on life, just like from the things I've been through. It's just like the positive outlook
goes a long way.
Always wins.
Yeah,
always
for
wins.
sure. Yeah,
it is easy to tunnel
Yeah.
down and just spiral and get, that imposter syndrome, and it is not good.
Get real dark, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely stay on that positive route was what I would tell myself, and kind of stay locked in.
And fucking don't go to Boise.
Yeah, don't go to Boise.
And
shout out to all my Broncos out there. We love you.
If you're from Boise,
We love ya.
get out.
Oh, boy, I haven't been back. I'm sure it's
I don't know if you're missing much.
yeah, I don't know.
I heard it's beautiful. That's all I've heard.
Let's see. We have the internet.
It is pretty, but it's like being from here. That was the other thing, is being from Vegas, the biggest cities in the world.
It's beautiful.
Is and then going to a small,
Everything that closes at 9.
yeah, like
Oh
small,
yeah, it's crazy.
But also they're known for their rolling foothills, which is
I see that
interesting.
here.
So yeah, it's a
Big
lot of
potato loop trail. Looks like it could be some sort of.
There's a lot of mountain biking.
There's definitely a lot of
big
it
mountain biking
feels
place.
very. It feels very Utah-esque.
It's not mountainy though.
It's hilly.
It's hilly.
It's definitely
It's not mountainy.
No, these are rolling hills for sure.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Goddamn, open big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow, that's interesting.
That is very hilly.
it's very hilly. Yeah, that's
and this
exactly.
is in
Yeah, like
which
you're
you're-
not snowboarding down that.
No, what?
You're not. You could unless you hiked up it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think I was just looking for more of a mountain city vibe.
Which
and
is
Salt Lake
SLC.
killed that. Yeah. City vibe was great. Loved
Shut
it.
that off. Yeah. I know we've been once. I don't think we've been back, but it was great when we went to Salt Lake.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
That's.
I think that about wraps her up.
wraps
Anything
her
else,
up.
Sean?
I feel good. I think we asked the right questions.
For sure.
And I think most importantly, we got the right answers.
we got there's a good.
Maybe.
Who knows?
We'll see.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks, dude.
That was great.
Oh,
Yeah.
first of all, hold on.
Whoa.
I want to say,
Whoa.
I don't know if we mentioned something. I want to thank you for coming on.
Yes,
Thanks for jumping on and chatting with us.
course.
And where can people find your work? How can people hire you?
It is colexcurtis.com. COLEXCURTIS on Instagram, and colexcurtis.com or photography at colexcurtis.com.
Very nice.
And my social security is
my
mother's maiden name is
my banking info.
yeah, that's where you can find me. Reach out. Thank you guys for having me on.
Dude, it was a pleasure.
This was a blast.
It was a ripper.
A ripper, dude. Let's go eat.
Let's go get some fucking food
Bye.
and more caffeine.
Later.
More caffeine.